I'm in this bubble, as I was saying, this bubble of like a lucid, waking, lucid reality. A woke as fuck state of being, like, very sustaining. It would sustain. When I was doing the fast, I would just walk around and be in that state like all day. I would have someone sit in front of me and I would know that I was talking to Buddha and I was within Buddha mind, and we were just kind of reading our lines, pretending to be talking, but in reality, I already knew and he already knew that everything and nothing needed to be communicated with words, and all the words were like a charade. Like, we're doing this for fun only, just to participate in the joys and the thrill and the adventure and the turmoil and the success and the hope and the of life, right? Just to be incarnate in a body so that the soul can acquire these experiences that help it mature into a glowing divine spirit, eternal, more and more like it's like God, like its original creation, its original blueprint, its original nature. So that was the state that I was sustaining, and that was the state that the teacher, my guide, he was telling me that, if you fast enough, you'll be able to like just be here permanently all the time, whether or not you fast, and you won't even want to eat, and you won't need to eat, and you will have a full Kundalini awakening that will give you like clairvoyant powers and so many things that, to be honest with you, have not come to pass thus far. But the things that have come to pass, I am eternally grateful for, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, it was the experience of a lifetime. I certainly have learned and gained like, an immeasurable treasure house of experience and wisdom. So a big part of what happened for me also was my walls started to come down. A lot of psychological walls. I had one day, for example, I cried for like 2 to 3 days straight. I just started crying one day and I couldn't stop, and I just kept feeling. It was like, in the movies where you have the main character is about to die, and they have a flashback of their whole life, flashes before their eyes. Well, it was like that, but all the negative things, hurtful things that I had ever said started flashing before my eyes. Like, my teacher was telling me I would have visions of angels and all this beautiful, awesome stuff. I never had those kinds of visions. I never was up in the heavens playing a harp, like talking directly to an angel about the purpose of my life. That didn't happen. What did happen was, oh, you're a jerk, and all these negative things, like flashes of me hurting people's feelings with my words. And I was feeling what they were feeling. It was a flash in which I was experiencing the pain that I caused, not where in the flash, I'm not upset at all. The person's getting upset by what I'm saying to them, right? So I wasn't experiencing what I experienced. I was experiencing the result of what I was doing. So that, I imagine, cleared a bunch of blockages, because the more I learned about Qigong, Master Mantak Chia teaches that most of the blockages in our meridians, in our pathways for the Qi, the Prana, the life force to flow, are blocked by emotion, not toxins. Or I would think it was toxins and drugs and stuff, like so toxic, out here. Like, there's a lot of things in food and stuff like that, but he says it's emotions, and I believe him. So back to the thing, the fast, the experience of it, of not consuming anything, but being full of life force, like a flower blooming like this, like it's just turgid, just like so full of life. There's barely just, it's just water in there, keeping it full and nice like that. And I felt a lot of like surrender, because that's the only way I could really do it. Let's be honest. I'm not like a disciplined guy. Anybody who knows me in my life, like, I'm not the type of guy who does the same thing every day and who says, "Oh, I'm not." You know, I drink sometimes. I drink beer, and you know, I don't go like, tonight I'm not gonna drink, and then if I said I'm not gonna drink tonight, then it doesn't happen. No, that's not the kind of person I am. Sometimes I go out there thinking I'm not gonna drink, and then I do drink. You know, so I certainly am and have enough control to where it's not hurting me. I don't drink so to the point where it hurts the next day or even that's whatever. But yeah. Point is, it wasn't my own effort. It was something greater than myself aligning with me, calling me to do this, and lending me the strength to do it. Because otherwise, I would have been eaten. I mean, I was starving. That's another question a lot of people have. Like, oh, were you hungry? I did a 4-day fast, and after the second day, I wasn't hungry anymore. Right, I wasn't hungry anymore after the first few weeks. But after the second month or so, I was really hungry. And that didn't go away. That was a starvation that not only did it not go away, it became psychological. It became very deep, you know, like to where every time I closed my eyes, I was having fantasies about eating. Every night when I fell asleep, I dreamt about eating. I would have dreams where I'm walking through a house that's made out of candy, you know, like one of those fairy tales. I forget what it is, but there's a fairy tale like that. It's just made out of cookies, and I'd be eating cookies and chocolate. Chocolate was a big thing. Or it'd be like a big dinner table, and my siblings would be passing around this big Venezuelan authentic meal that I grew up eating, like that kind of stuff, like psychological, like from my childhood stuff. And then by the time the food got around to me, the plate would be empty, and I would freak out. I would be so angry. You guys know I haven't eaten anything all day. In my dream, I mean. In my dream, I would be really upset when I couldn't eat. And another thing that happened is like my entire sexual urges went away. All the sexual chi, prana, life force started going towards feeding my body. So there were no urges. There was no, I wasn't stimulating myself down there. I wasn't engaging with anybody else. I was completely celibate. And even at nighttime, never had like an emission or never came out, never spilled my seed. Because it's not trying to do that. Your body's worried about survival. It's not worried about mating at that point, I suppose. So a lot of the point of the fast was to override the primal brain, the survival instinct of the brain that tells it to eat and have sex. You know, and these are like survival drive. This drive to survive no matter what. It's the part of the animal brain or the reptilian brain that gets us into trouble, because when we have that survival instinct, we're more likely to forget about the connection. We're more likely to forget that we're all cells, part of the same living organism. We're all like, it would be like my blood cells fighting against my white cells just because they look different. No, these cells don't do that because they recognize that they're part of the same system. Why are we gonna fight? We're in the same team. We're trying to get this guy to like feel good and be able to get to work and all that stuff on time. So, same thing with our planet. You know, we're all cells part of this planet. And when you have that reptilian thing going on, that drive, you will see that people become disingenuous. They start to be deceitful. They're not 100% sure that they can survive based on the truth. So they'll lie and steal and cheat and manipulate, you know, and try to get laid or try to get paid or try to get this, chasing paper, yeah. And then you see the society that is so easily manipulated and controlled and brainwashed because there's just like a carrot in front of a stick, chasing paper, chasing money, chasing whatever, sense gratification, I suppose. And I'm not saying I don't do it. I mean, I don't chase money that much, but I chase certain things, you know, sense gratifications that I'm indulgent with as well. I love laughing, for example. I will not throw away, but I will spend a whole day just laughing at movies sometimes and not being very productive. And I become stagnant, and sometimes it's an issue. I need to address that. Things like that. So, I hope this is a good amount of information on this topic. I mean, I know there's a lot more that I want to say. I just just wanted to like freestyle and just speak freely about it and connect with you guys. And some of my friends out there I know have had questions for a while. But yeah, that's basically it. By the end of it, I was doing 3 days dry, 3 days dry, sorry, 3 days dry, 1 day juice, 3 days dry, 1 day juice, 3 days dry. And I think that was like the last month or two at least of that routine. And that's when I was the most awake, most lucid, really glowed up. By then I was pretty comfortable with it. I still had the starvation sensation, but I would do little things like drink a nectar from a flower sometimes, for example. And it would give me enough prana energy to last me like an hour's walk. So that would be a thing that happened. Sometimes I would be somewhere for whatever reason, and I would be kind of stranded because I didn't have enough energy to walk back, to get back to my house, to where I can drink water or juice or not drink anything, at least lay down in a comfortable position. So when I was in that situation, I would cheat by drinking nectar from flowers. And I swear, they would like light me up. I would be like ecstatically happy and energized. Alright, that's a good amount of material for this. So thank you guys so much. Feel free to share. If you have any questions, post them down here. I will make another video where I address any and all questions that people post down here. I give lots of thanks and appreciation to the community, to God, to nature, and to love.